All new parents face. Oh. Trying to work out ways to calm babies when they won't stop crying. It's a beautiful sound, isn't it, Sarah?
And you really don't know what to do because they look so upset. Well, there are some proven methods, and joining us and to help us is parenting expert Pinky McKay. Good morning to you, Pinky.
Hi, Sarah. Hi, Carl.
How are you?
Good, thanks.
So I guess the first thing I want to ask you is this issue with routines. Parents feel like they should put their babies into some sort of a routine. What are your thoughts on that?
I think initially you really have to learn the baby's cues and respond to it, because you can put your baby in a very strict routine and then you might find your milk supply is dwindling, because women actually have different breast milk storage capacities and babies have a very tiny tummy. You know, when they're a few weeks old, they need to drink, you know, around about 800 mils of fluid, and if you've got a really strict feeding routine where they don't get fed for quite a while, you're not going to get enough food in. They actually get hungry quite quickly because those little tummies empty quickly. So it's better to watch the baby's body language and when it's hungry to feed it.
Is it true
that
it
cries less?
Is that a baby, you can always settle a baby who... You can't settle a baby that's hungry, basically. Is that true?
Oh, no, I think you'd have to feed it. And if you leave it to get till it's actually crying with hunger, the little tongue's on the roof of the mouth, so you can't get the nipple into the mouth, whether it's breast or bottle. It's very hard to get it to attach properly and feed.
Now, Pinky,
and it's often exhausted.
You know exactly. You know that opinions on both sides of these arguments are very strong, and the arguments are compelling on both sides. We just found personally that if we didn't get the bub into some sort of routine early on, that we would have gone mad. We were just that exhausted. Well, Cass was, you know, that exhausted.
Yeah, look, there are both sides, but I think, and some people do, I don't think there's a problem with having a good rhythm to the day, and you can work around that, but I think initially you have to work with the baby, and things like, you know, if you're planning to breastfeed for a fair while, the first 3 months your breast tissue is still developing, you're still developing prolactin receptors. You need to feed that baby according to its hunger cues. Now, some babies, like I said, with the breast milk storage capacity, that'll work for some people. And you can have a bit of a routine. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, some women feel more comfortable and they have to survive.
Now let's talk about control crying.
Flexibility.
Because I know there are differing opinions on leaving your baby to cry and let the baby teach itself to put himself to sleep. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I don't like control crying at all, and there's very compelling evidence now that when you leave your baby deliberately to cry and cry, and I'm not just talking about a wind-down grizzle as they go to sleep here, when you're deliberately leaving your baby to cry, it actually produces stress hormones, and when this stress hormones like cortisol bathe the baby's brain, it actually alters the stress regulation mechanism in the brain, and it can cause long-term problems, which when the baby then is confronted with stress as a child or as an adult, it can overreact to stress and overproduce cortisol and then go into anxiety or depression.
All right, just a quick one before we go, Pinky, on colic. How do we treat that? What's the best way of doing that?
Colic is a bit of an overall word, but look, I've got a couple of colic holds for babies. If they seem to have that lower bowel wind, hold them across your arm like this, and being on their tummy, any crying baby, they don't have that startle reflex. Or another one is to hold them up. Can you see the bubby? Hold them up with their chest against their back against your chest, bend their little legs. Another thing with colic, helps supporting the stomach with your hand, holding their feet up, and that can give the baby a bit of comfort. There's some colic massage strokes, and also to see what's causing it. Sometimes if you're breastfeeding, just simply eliminating dairy products from your diet can make a difference.
All right, good advice there, Pinky. Thanks for that, and we'll have much more information on our website. We appreciate your time this morning. Thanks.